Dub, 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 dub. Yes. Oh. Now my dirty they smell like this. Now to throw away am quick. This kind smell fit make man sick. That woman throw away dirty for ground. Me sef go do the same this time around.
Hold up.
See, to do this kind badness by the book, you make sure say person no dey look. And then you drop am nicely, bros. Nothing will happen. Trust me.
See, if you throw away dirty for ground, another person sef throw away dirty. Everybody come begin dey throw away dirty for ground. Everywhere go come dey smell. Gutter go block, road go block, and you wey like to dey dab. Na you say no more dabbing for you be that o. Dab 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 dab. Yes.
Good afternoon and welcome to News on the Hour, coming to you from New Frontiers Television. My name is Shegunfunmi Oyedokun. The former Vice President and a chieftain of the ruling party, All Progressive Congress APC, Atiku Abubakar, has suggested use of the nation's 6th geopolitical zone as federating units, rather than the current 36-state structure, many of which are declared unviable. According to him, the country must be open to changing the nature of the federating unit, such as using the existing geopolitical zone as federating unit rather than the current 36 states, of which only a few are financially viable. Abubakar spoke in Lagos while accepting the Heroes of Nigerian Democracy Award conferred on him by the All of Grace magazine. The National Coordinator of Buhari's Support Organization for South, Pastor Folorunsho Lunge, has urged Nigerians to support the acting president Yemi Osinbajo in his efforts towards ensuring good governance and national economic recovery. The All Progressive Congress chieftain made the call today in an interview in Abuja. He said Nigerians should support the Vice President Osinbajo for him to succeed in implementing the government policy so that the current economic recession and other challenges facing the nation can be overcome. He expressed confidence that the acting president could exercise responsibility as he did in the past with a strong will, commitment, and absolute respect for the Constitution. Lunge therefore urged all the organs of government to cooperate and work with the acting president in a collective effort of delivering dividend of democracy to Nigerians. Pensioners under the Hajis of the Forum of the 2011-2012 retired public servant of Osun today have taken to the streets of Osogbo, urging the federal government to prevail on the state government to pay their 12-month salaries. Speaking with newsmen in Osogbo on the protest, the chairman of the forum, Mr. Omani Ilesomi, said that the non-payment of pensions to retirees had led to the death of 1,625 members since the year 2013. Ilesami, who said many of the members have become bedridden due to ill health and inability to pay for treatment, stressed that all those could no longer meet their basic needs. He called on the acting president, Yemi Osinbajo, to direct the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to release the second tranche of the Paris Fund Club respond to Osun to remedy the situation. The spokesman also urged the acting president to direct both the CBN and the Federal Ministry of Finance to properly monitor the disbursement and utilization of the fund in the state. At least 174,000 NPAD volunteers in the federal government's social intervention program, SPI, have been paid 30,000 naira monthly stipend without delay. Afolabi Imokede, the senior special assistant to the president of job creation, made this note today in a chat in his office in Abuja. The presidential aide said the program has been using focal person, using the NPA coordinator in the state to act as the go between the government and the volunteers to cross-check their data. He added that the complaint about non-payment arose because some volunteers could not reconcile their entries at the time of application with the information they provided during the validation exercise. Mr. Folabi said most invalid verification were caused by the wrong bank verification numbers, BVN, of the volunteers, which could not be linked to the account they submitted. We'll take a short break. When we return, we shall give you more news. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching news on the Hour from New Frontiers Television. Moving on. The Senate during the plenary session today has agreed to discuss the billing system of all the distribution companies in the country. The decision of the Senate followed a motion by Senator Dino Melaye, who relied on a point of order to accuse the AEDC of astronomical billing. Melaye said the official of the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company came to his residence and changed his prepaid meter to a new one, which they also came to remove 3 weeks after. He alleged that the company then replaced his house on estimated billing, which he described as the astronomical and unfair. In his remark, the deputy president of Senate who presided over the preliminary session noted the complaint, saying that the matter will be discussed at the preliminary session on Wednesday, 24th of May. The Delta State House of Assembly has listed the suspension on the former Speaker, Right Honorable Monday Ibuya, and the ex-majority leader, Honorable Timi Owafere, who were suspended over alleged financial misappropriation. The duo were earlier suspended for 3 months. A member of the House of Representatives from Adamawa State, Adamu Kamale, who represents the Madangali Mechika Federal Constituency, has defected to the ruling party or Progressive Congress. His defection was announced in a letter read by the Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, on the floor of the House today. Mr. Kamale cited division in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as his reason for defecting. His defection is coming barely 2 weeks after his counterpart from Plateau State, Edward Wako, declared for the APC. The minority whip, Yakubu Bade, however, said that there was no division in PDP and said this party would challenge Mr. Kamale's defection in court. Another member of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Adamale, from Adamawa State, defected Only last week, Mr. Edward Pagwe's son also defected to APC. Moving on to the education sector, the Governing Council of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, has ordered the reinstatement of the bursar of the institution, Mr. Emmanuel Oreshegun. Oreshegun said the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adebi Idaramola, were earlier suspended by the Ministry of Education, Malam Adamu, following the arraignment at the Ondo State High Court by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, over an alleged financial misappropriation. The Vice Chancellor, whose tenure expired on the 23rd of May 2017, too was reinstated last week. In a statement issued by the Ed Media and Protocol Unit of the University, Mr. Adegbenro Adebanjo, the Council reinstated the bursar as it meeting. The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN, has said that the mandatory professional qualification examination for qualified teachers who want to register with the council is scheduled to commence in October. Professor Josiah Ajiboye, the registrar, made this known in Abuja. Ajiboye said that all unqualified teachers would not be allowed into the classroom by the end of the year 2017. The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria has come out with a policy decision which is backed and supported by the Federal Ministry of Education. The ministry has approved that the regulation registration without qualifying examination should stop by the 1st of May 2017, and the first professional qualifying examination will take place in October 2017. 3 persons were killed today when TV and the Jokon people clashed at the Fedi Market opposite the Air Force Base in Makurdi, Benue State. The crisis reportedly started when 2 young men of the TV and Jokon ethnic group clashed at Fedi Market. The matter was said to have snowballed into a heavy fight, which allegedly led to the killing of 1 person, simply identified as Segba Teva. But the killing was said to have triggered a crisis which led to 2 more deaths and several houses burned. Sokoto State government has released a sum of 1 billion naira to support the small and medium-scale enterprises in the state. The money is part of its counterpart fund in a 2 billion naira intervention fund to be floated in collaboration with the Bank of Industries. Speaking when he led the officials on an inspection visit to the state government's Adia farms in Bodinga local government area of the state, Tambua said that local businesses in Sokoto will soon access the fund to boost up their capital base and enterprise. He said that the fund will be made available to beneficiaries as soon as the Bank of Industries released its portion of the counterpart fund. The governor said that Sokoto State is determined to give the people all the required support and improve their businesses. He then urged the entrepreneurs, businessmen and women to partner with government to ensure the success of these important policies. Coming up next is Business News with Precious Amayo. Stay with us.
The National Bureau of Statistics has released the Gross Domestic Product Growth Rate report for the first quarter, with the economy contracting by -0.52% in the first quarter of this year. With the economy having a negative growth rate of -0.52%, the economy is still in recession. The rate of growth for the first quarter of 2017 is, however, an improvement over the revised -1.73% GDP growth rate figure recording as of December 2016. This is the 5th consecutive contraction in GDP growth rate that the economy would be recording since the first quarter of 2016. However, the rate of growth is against expectations by the federal government that the country will be out of recession in weeks. South Africa's top manufacturing union, NUMSA, has said that 600 workers out of 1,500 at General Motors, South Africa, will lose their jobs by July after a decision last week by the car maker to sell its local operations. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, NUMSA, said in a statement that General Motors had confirmed the numbers and issued layoff notices as required by law. Greece has failed to secure a deal to unlock the next installment of its multi-billion-dollar bailout after talks with Eurozone finance ministers broke down. Informal talks are expected to continue ahead of the group's 15 June meeting. The Brussels-based meeting was aimed at deciding whether Greece had done enough to receive a 7.5 billion euros loan plus debt relief. The cash is vital for Greece to avoid defaulting on a debt repayment due in July. To secure the funds, the country has had to enact a series of economic reforms. The IMF's participation in Greece's latest bailout hinges on resolving this issue. The country's gross domestic product (GDP) fell by 0.1% in the first 3 months of the year after shrinking by 1.2% in the final quarter of 2016, the Eurostat figures showed. Precious Amayo, reporting for New Frontiers Television.
Welcome back. That concludes the news on this hour. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Shegun Fumi Oyedoku. Good afternoon.